Hello there, everyone. This is Donna Peterson, and I'm from World Innovators. Today, I wanted to talk about how do you analyze your email marketing campaigns? How do we know if they're working? I know I'm constantly hearing from clients, Donna, can I have the tracking reports? Can we see how many opens we had? Can we see how many clicks that we have? And they're getting it from all different sources. And every source out there has a different type of tracking report they give you, or maybe they just give you the opens and clicks. Maybe they just give you numbers. Maybe they give you percentages. So there isn't a uniform way of getting that tracking information. But then once you do get it, how do you analyze it? How do you figure out what is working and what is not? For 43 years, World Innovators has been looking at different results from clients, figuring out what works and what doesn't. And what we've uncovered is there are some errors in the, or maybe not, I shouldn't say errors. They're they're not consistent ways of looking at the results. Now, you have to make sure that when you're looking at tracking, and there's a few areas we're going to talk about today. And one of the things is like, why are you talking about this now, Donna? Why is this such a big thing? Well, 2 years ago, when Apple came out with their mail privacy protection, that kind of threw things up in the air. At one point, people were saying email is dead. Then they were saying open rates are dead because Apple set it so that they were combining their auto generated opens with the real opens. And so you're getting this one big number. And so for a while there, you're probably like, yes, look at how great these are doing. But were they just automated generated opens, which means no. It has to be the actual person who clicks on that email. They see that subject line and they want to click on it. So that's what kind of opened up this Pandora's box of, are you looking at the right numbers to consider to make sure that your email marketing is working? Or what sources are you using that are the ones you should continue to use? Which ones should you drop? Or which ones should you alter? And we're going to go over a few of those areas today, starting with first, when you have your email service provider, you need to find out, how are they calculating the opens? How is the company that gives you that tracking report calculating the opens? Is it one big number of the automated with the real user opens all combined in one? Is it just the real user open rate? Or are they kind of doing a percentage to figure out, oh, we think this is the right percentage of real users? If you can uncover that, that starts to help uncover the right numbers for you to be looking at. The second thing is you've got to look at, where's my train of thought here? I lost my train of thought here. I know I was talking about the open rates, but you always have to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. And what do I mean by that is, okay, we just talked about, are they automated generated opens or are they real user opens? But then when you're looking at those open numbers, is that the total number of opens or is it the unique opens? I like both of those numbers for different reasons. One is unique. I want to know how many individuals are interested in what I'm sending them. But I'd also like to know how many individuals are so interested that they open the email more than once. There is so much information you can dig out of a tracking report. It really, you're like a forensic, like a forensic accountant goes in there. That's what you are. You're a forensic marketing expert that goes in there to analyze the results to figure out what is actually working and what is not. But you've got to make sure you're comparing that apples to apples. So if you're looking at total of opens, make sure that every source that you use, your internals, you're looking at total of opens. If you're looking at the uniques, make sure you're comparing unique opens to another source's unique opens. And that's the same with the click through rate. You want to make sure that if you're looking at total clicks, which you think someone clicked on your message more than once, or the CTA more than once showing interest, or you want to know how many individuals you sparked an interest in, you want to look at that number. But when you're looking at multiple sources, you got to make sure that you are comparing apples to apples. So total or unique. Now, the other thing you want to do is when you're looking at these tracking reports, you as a company have to know when you're sending out these emails, what is your objective? What are you trying to accomplish? Is it to generate leads? Is it to generate branding? What is it that you want to achieve? Because then that's when you can really start to whittle down the tracking report to give you the information that is most important to you. Now, when I talk to you, we all know I deal with predominantly industrial companies. So we're looking at very specific niche target audiences. The messaging usually is very specific, and you want to deliver this directly to them. That's why email marketing is still one of the best marketing channels you can use, but you have to understand which sources are worth your marketing dollars. Which channels do you need to be considering that your clients or these target people are on? What type of messaging do these people like to receive? Now, when we didn't have to worry about all these things that Apple came out with their not restrictions, but how they did the mail privacy protection, we would look at open rates for different reasons. We might look at it to consider a subject line. Okay, that subject line really enticed them to open the email. We might look at the open rate to say, this was the perfect time to send an email to this audience because they're there. Maybe they're commercial bakers, and so they open up emails at 7 a.m. I don't know what it is, but those were the things you used to be able to really dig into when you could feel confident in those open rates. But what I'm here to say is because you're in those industrial brands, like I mentioned, if you're in those specific niche areas, I think if you pay attention to these tactics or these things, you will be able to determine from your analysis of your email results which sources to use and which ones to stay away from. So, like we just reviewed, let me go over them before we do the last two, is one, find out from your email service provider what is included in that open rate. Are they auto-generated or are they real users? Figure out what that is there. Then also know what your objective is as a company. Now, I know most of you will say, well, Donna, our objective is sales. I get that, but this is marketing. So think about what is it that you want people to know about your brand? What is it that you want to help people with? That's the type of information you really need to dig deep and know. I was just talking to a publisher the other day and they said, we've got this advertiser. They're a great advertiser with us. But the problem is they do the same thing year after year. They haven't changed their messaging. They haven't done any segmentation. They are just still doing those broad general promotions. And today, if you want to be effective with your marketing, you have to get specific. You've got to pull in a specific segment and send a message directly to them. So the third thing, when you're analyzing those tracking results, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. So total versus unique. Make sure you're looking at that. And then you also want to look at what is the cost per click. I love that one. Really dive in, and I use it. You only do it for unique clicks the cost per unique clicks. Every single one of these numbers that I calculate out for my clients and that you can calculate out for yourself will give you some information to help you build so that every email marketing campaign you do will be better. Now, the fourth thing, we're talking about all this opens and clicks and the tracking reports, but let's not discount branding. The branding you get just from people opening up their email box and seeing your name in the from line and a subject line that resonates with them. Maybe they don't take action. Maybe they are running out the door for a meeting. Maybe they're going to get back to it later, but they see that name out there. We all know anywhere you go, even if you're playing golf, sometimes in the hole, there's an advertisement. You're riding up an elevator these days, there's advertisements, companies' names, billboards, whatever it is. Remember that even just your from line and a subject line that's specific to that audience is branding. And the fifth thing is don't overanalyze. There's some companies that overanalyze and they basically paralyze themselves from doing anything because they're waiting for that perfect mix, the perfect source at the perfect time with the perfect message to get 100% the best results. I'll tell you that doesn't happen. There are way too many variables in the world with email, with the economy, with different logarithms, with Apple coming out with these different protections, the compliance acts. Just don't overanalyze it. With marketing, you've got to get out there. You've got to start testing things, but definitely look deep into the tracking that you get and see if you can whittle it down. Now, one thing, when I work with clients, like I said, they're in the industrial space, they're a very specific niche. If you know, and I mean truly know and understand your audience, one, you'll know the exact lists to use, usually with an industry specific list or a conference attendee list that you know those people are attending. You go and you do your research. Maybe you go to trade shows. You're on the show floor talking to exhibitors and attendees about what is top of mind so that when you go into your marketing message, you hit that specific list with those topics you heard for yourself right on the trade show floor that is of concern for them or it is their goals. You put it in the message. That's when you can really be confident you are on that right path for email marketing success. That way, you don't really have to worry too much about mail privacy protection on Apple or the new thing Apple's coming out with, which people now are going to say click rates don't matter. It's the link tracking protection that they're going to put on Safari. Because if you know you are going in to an industry specific list or publisher that is giving content, valuable content to the industry you need to reach, you know you're going to be going after the right people. You're going to be talking about the right topics. You are going to have great branding because you're in the right spot. Yes, we all want to see big numbers on opens and we all want to see those large number of clicks. But I have to tell you, I have had email promotions that I've looked at and I'm like, oh my gosh, this bombed. This is the worst. We'll never use this list again. But then the client comes with the back end information and they got their largest buyer ever from that list. Well, guess what? We're going to continue to use that list because obviously the exact audience was in there and they have money to spend. So there's a lot of variables to consider. And I know when it comes to email marketing, myself included, our feet are put to the fire. Our feet are put to the fire to show clients the best tracking because then they feel like we've done our job. But really, where we have done our job is when we take the time to research specific sources and research specific audiences and talk with those publishers or conference companies to find the perfect match. Publishers don't want you using their list if it doesn't really reach your target audience. Because one, they don't want your advertisement going to their subscribers because their subscribers will get upset. And two, they know if it doesn't work, you're not going to be back again. So reputable publishers and conference companies are very strict on who they will rent their list to. They will only rent it to people who have something to offer that will help their audience. Their lists are such a valuable asset to them. They would rather say no to you for advertising than to give something to their subscribers that would not be relevant. So as you go now and you do your email marketing and you want to look at that tracking and you want to see your opens and clicks and you might look at it and say it bombed, if you are confident in the audience you're targeting, if you are confident in the message you are sending, that it is helpful, it creates value to the individual, you are doing great marketing. You will see it will pay off. Even if it's with customers you already have, they're going to see that marketing. It's just going to reinforce your brand with them so they become more loyal to your brand, so that they become like advocates for your brand, recommending it to them. So let's go over this. Five things you really need to watch when you're looking at your email marketing tracking results. One is make sure you know from your ESP or from the sources you're using opens. What is that number? Are they the auto-generated opens or are they real user opens? Or is it a calculated adjusted open rate? Dive into that and find out what it is. Two, make sure you are comparing apples to apples. So total number to total number, unique number to unique number. And then also, when you're calculating out the percentages, make sure that you can calculate it two ways and again, analyze those numbers, but the percentage to total number delivered or percentage of clicks to the opens. Again, that both ways gives you different information, but you should have both of those and consider them all. The third thing is when you're looking at the tracking report, make sure that it's in line with your objectives. Like, what are your objectives? What is this tracking report showing me? Does it look like we're on target? The fourth thing is, and I can't say this enough, reinforcing the significance of branding. If you know your marketing message is definitely going to the right audience, so an industry specific publication or conference company, you've got to have confidence that you're in the right spot. You've got to feel confident that this is where you should be. And so don't discount the branding, even if your opens and clicks are not as high as you would like. And the fifth thing is overcome that analysis paralysis. Don't make yourself so wrapped up in the results that you don't do anything. Don't wait for that perfect opportunity because it will never, ever come. Now, like I said, Apple is now going to be coming down with the link tracking protection. And so then people are going to start saying, oh, you know what? Click rates don't matter. But if you've done the research, you know and understand your audience. You know what's important to them and you offer them value. You should have confidence in your marketing. You should have confidence that you are in the right spot to help your company grow year after year. Now, if you have any questions about this, or you'd like to talk about a tracking report you just received, or what you're seeing from your your email service provider, please feel free to reach out to me at dpeterson, Peterson, at worldinnovators.com. Also, I would love it if you left some comments below so that we can really get this conversation going, because it's very important for people to understand email is not dead. Open rates are not dead, and click rates will not be dead either. Email is still one of the most effective ways to send a direct communication to your specific audience. So take this time, seize these opportunities, analyze the results, and just figure out this whole big marketing puzzle that will help you achieve success. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.